live backstage.
Woohoo.
And then, okay. And then now I'm going to the Facebook setup. There you go. And then the post details. Okay, it's completed now. Okay. And then cross post to more pages. So Miss Earth Crown and then Miss Earth USA. So I already clicked Miss Earth USA.
Yay.
So video will post when admin approves. That's what it says right now.
Okay. Let's see. I'm watching
So any
it.
notification or any, or maybe, or maybe when we start to go live, maybe that's when the notification will come. I'm not really sure.
I'm watching these notifications to see if they pull through.
Mhm. Okay. So maybe later when we go live, that's when it will go through. That's why. So we have an allowance of time. Um, okay, I think we're all complete. Okay, I think it's complete. All right. So I'm going to put everybody backstage now, and we're going to start in just a little bit. Okay, so I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I'm going to click go live on Facebook now, so we can all go live on all our platforms, and I'll see you in a bit. Here we
See you then.
go.
Let's enjoy.
Hello everybody! Magandang umaga, hapon, gabi, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are around the world, the earth rather. This is your host, Emmanuel Feliciano. I am the creative content head of Miss Earth Crown. And for those who missed us, we are officially back. Yeah! Thank you very much for those who patiently waited, for those who were messaging us the whole time, asking us, what happened to Miss Earth Crown? Where are you guys? When are you going to be back? It's already Miss Earth season once again. Well, here we are. We are back. And we are back with a bang because this week we have a lot in store for you. Exclusives, reviews, your favorite banlao sesh or your favorite review sessions, your favorite commentary sessions and episodes are back. But for today, we have a very, very special episode because what a way to start our new Miss Earth season and what a way to relaunch Miss Earth Crown as Miss Earth Crown 2.0 because today we are going to be graced by one very beautiful, empowered, humble, down-to-earth woman of the earth and from the USA. So today we're going to be chatting later on. Okay, we're going to be chatting with Miss Earth USA 2023, Danielle Mullins. But before that, let me introduce to you, of course, my partner in crime and who will be here with us. Of course, sino pa nga ba? Our boss, the editor-in-chief of Miss Earth Crown, Marky Gatchalian. Marky, hello.
Hello! And I really missed saying this.
Uh-huh.
Isang makakalikasang umaga, tanghali, or gabi sa inyong lahat. Woo! How does it feel, Eman, that we're back?
I am very happy. How do you feel?
I feel very excited. We're starting fresh. We're starting anew. And what a way to start fresh, but to invite one of the powerhouses in pageantry, right? We're here to interview Miss Earth USA, Danielle Mullins. I'm so excited for today.
We're very, very excited for that. And of course, in order for us, let's cut to the chase. Let's already do that. But wait, before that, of course, let's look at some people who are already watching us on our different platform. Raymond Sim, Kokoy, Ken Domingo, Climaco Marianne is watching here right now on the Miss Earth 2.0 page. Wow, a lot of people are already watching on the Miss Earth 2.0 page. If
Yes.
you have questions, just post your questions right over there on the comment.
Yes. And we're also being welcomed by Melvin Villar Amora. He says, welcome back, Miss Earth Crown. As well as Shannon Paternoster. Aloha, Daniel from Hawaii. So we have people from Hawaii watching.
Okay. Well, let's do this right now. And I hope, she says she can't hear anything right now from backstage. Maybe when we bring her in, that's when she will be able to chat with us. So now we are going to get you up in here. Ladies and gentlemen, our beautiful Miss Earth USA 2023, Danielle Mullins. Can you hear us now, Danielle? Can you hear us now?
I can't hear anything. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. That's a good start. I don't know where the sound went. It was working so good earlier, and when we started it,
I wonder what happened to Daniel's connection. So maybe one more time, Daniel. If you want, you can leave the stream and then log in again using that same link. Okay, so
can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Oh, we can hear you.
Oh my goodness, why can't I hear you all? What am I doing wrong here?
So Mark, why don't you talk with our Earthling first while I message Daniel?
Yes, while we are addressing the technical concerns, we'd like to thank our followers. I know that you have been waiting for this time for us to start the coverage of Miss Earth. Miss Earth is just around the corner. It will happen on December 22 live in Vietnam. They have already started their series of video or online activities. Just last week, they have already had their presentation of the delegates. This week, I think they're having the global tour of all the landmarks of the different countries who are involved in Miss Earth. And later, I think a few days from now, I think it will start around November 2 or 3, they will have their Echo Activities video. So welcome to all our followers. So just like to say hi to Donald Latham. Donald is saying, so excited. Danielle Mullins is an amazing and compassionate queen. Indeed, we agree with that. We're talking to her backstage, and she was just sharing to us what she was up to. And later, as we progress in our day in our show, you will get to know more of what she is doing on an environmental standpoint. We'd like to say hi as well to Ralph Sambat. Hi, Ralph. Thank you. Ralph says, hello, my friends and Miss Earth Crown team and Danielle Mullins. It's great to see you all again. Okay, so to our friends and our followers, please do not forget to share our live. Also, if you don't mind visiting Miss Earth Count 2.0, like it as well and follow our page for in-depth as well as updated Miss Earth coverage for 2023. So
That is right. So Daniel, it just is resetting her connection. Okay, hopefully she will be able to hear us already when she comes back. But as we have already told you, our episode for today is all about Miss Earth USA 2023, Danielle Mullins. See, a lot of people in the comment section are already attesting to how humble, beautiful she is inside and out. So I hope that all of you will be able to see that today, because we've been talking with her for a while already, and we definitely see that. We definitely see the beauty inside and out in Daniel, right? So
probably, can we just give them a background as to what happened to our page?
I know, right? That's true. Maybe we can talk about that. Maybe you can help us with that. If you know anything, if it already happened to you, maybe you can tell us a little something about it. Okay. So what happened to our page, Mark?
We were unpublished.
That's true.
Right? We were unpublished. We were asking for the reason. They haven't responded. We don't know why. Right? We don't know why. So, and then we just waited for just a few months to have it reinstalled. However, it's already Miss Earth season. We can no longer wait. I know that you've been pinging us. You've been sending us messages where we are. And right here we are. We are doing our coverage for you.
Yeah, so we really appreciate everybody who's been looking for us, and all the comments, the positive comments whenever we were already back, like the positive comments. So of course, we are always an advocate not only of the earth, but we are also an advocate for facts, for truth, for anything that's fun, but anything that's also close to truth, right? So that's what we're doing here in Miss Earth Crown again. So grabe, no, yung tumitingin tayo, we're looking at the phone and then we're looking at the screen right now. So we're waiting for Daniel. Sometimes, things like that happen. So he was doing very, very well during our backstage rehearsal. But here's the thing. Now that while we're still waiting for Daniel, now is your chance to make some questions, to think of questions to ask Daniel later. Because after a lot of things, we're going to be asking her questions. You also have the chance to ask Daniel your questions. Later, we are going to have a fan ask question. What the fans ask question segment or portion, and that is your chance to ask the questions you want to ask. Test Daniels with her intelligence. Ask her about her advocacy. Ask her about her journey, and she will be answering your question. Okay. And then of course, Jay, we would love to do that. Okay. You know what Sam is saying? Sam is saying here, MEC 2.0 equals USA second crown. Do you know, Sam, that we were actually talking about that backstage? She was like, "Oh, this is very provident. This is very like it's a sign of things to come." Danny was saying, maybe the MEC 2.0, Miss Earth Crown 2.0, maybe the literal Miss Earth Crown also will do a 2.0 with USA, right? And I think it's very very possible. Do you think?
True. And our new Miss Earth Crown 2.0 coincides with the new crown that was just unveiled, right, for Miss Earth?
That's true. It was just unveiled. And then somebody is asking also us to feature the crown and confirm if this crown will only be used this year or it will be a long-term crown already. We don't know that yet, but we are rest assured that we are looking at it and we are looking for the information. Thank you
We'll
very
do
much,
that.
Mackie, for the comment. Mackie was like, Miss Lorraine should hire you guys. Thank you very much. But speaking of hire, Markley, I know that you have that you coming up soon, right? You
Mhm.
have a gig coming up soon with Miss Earth. Am I correct?
What gig? Sorry, what are you talking
Earth,
about? Oh
Miss
yeah.
Earth.
Oh God, I
Tell them
almost
about
forgot.
it. Tell them
I
about it.
almost forgot. Yeah. Of course, I'll be part of the panel who will judge their echo activities. So please watch out for that. I think that will start in November, and they will just. The girls have prepared a lot. They have prepared their echo activities and echo videos. Please watch out for that. Of course, we learn something new all the time with these girls and learn more about their advocacy. I think it will start around November 2, 3, if I'm not mistaken. 2, 3, 4, and 6, if I'm not mistaken. So watch out.
So
I
hey,
almost forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me.
Marky will be judging the echo activities videos of our candidates. There you go. So Daniel, can you hear us backstage? Yay! Okay, so
At
okay,
last.
so we are going to get you in already. All right, one more time. Let us welcome our very very special comeback intro first episode guest, Miss Earth USA 2023, Danielle Mullins.
Hi guys. What is
Hi.
it? You know what they say about being fashionably late, having a nice dramatic entrance. You may have had to switch devices, but that's okay. We're here. That's what matters. Good to see you
No
guys.
problem. You're not even fashionably late. You were here though. You were here very
You
very
were
early.
very early. So
I
So
do
we,
try.
we couldn't anticipate the technical difficulty, but we are so glad. No matter what device you are using, you are so beautiful. Don't you agree, guys? Let's give it up.
I agree.
Yeah.
And later on, you'll see how beautiful she really is inside and out as we start our show. So, are you ready, guys?
Yes, we are ready. But first of all, let's give Daniel a chance to greet her supporters and everyone who's here right now.
Hi, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know here in the States it is really late, so it means so much that you're here live, or even if you're have to be asleep for work in the morning, that you're going to follow up on the replay. I'm so excited to be here. I know I'm really looking forward to just everything that this year has in store, and truly could not be here without my support circle getting me here, being there every step of the way. I'm endlessly grateful for you all. Thank you guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yes, yes, yes. I'm sure a lot of people later who will be awake in the morning will be watching the replay, but we
Correct.
already have a lot of people right now.
Yes, just like to share to Daniel that we have someone who's watching from Hawaii, Shannon Paternoster. Aloha, Daniel from Hawaii. So may say hi.
Aloha.
Hello,
Right.
hello, hello.
And
Trisha
Donald Latham is also saying that he's excited for the show tonight because Danielle Mullins is an amazing and compassionate queen, according to Donald.
Love him.
Hi, Donald.
Hi, Donald.
Yes. Jay, who is also working with Miss Earth Nigeria, is also saying, gorgeous Miss USA and best of luck. See you in Vietnam. There you
We'll
go.
see you there.
Yes. And somebody also, Mark is asking, will they also see Miss Earth Crown in Vietnam? Will you be able to answer that already?
Yes. Of
Oh,
course.
we
Of
are going to
course.
Vietnam too, so we'll be seeing you in Vietnam soon. All right, there you
I'm
go.
excited to meet Daniel in person.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
so excited for that.
Thank you very much. And of course, keep your comments coming. And then later on, keep your questions coming. So please prepare your questions for when we do that later. But for now, we are going to start let's have a little bit of a warming up because we are going to start one of our signature segments here on Miss Earth Craft. Here we go. This or that. We're going to give Daniel some options, and of course, she has to quickly think which one she likes better than the other, and then explain it a little bit. This is not a lot, but let's see. Okay, the first one. Let's go. Let's go with this one
First one.
first.
Heels or sneakers?
I'm going to go ahead and say heels. I love going to the gym, need some sneakers for the gym, but I have learned I can go barefoot. So I'm going to go for the heels. They always complete the outfit, and I am 9 times out of 10 in cuter clothes versus gym clothes.
Okay, so that's heels, guys. Have you ever tried using the treadmill wearing heels?
I have actually.
Oh
I
God,
recently
really?
post-
Oh my
I
God,
recently
okay.
posted a video doing that on my Instagram and on my TikTok account, and actually, it got a lot of traction. I was really surprised. I thought, no big deal. I'm just practicing my walk, but everybody was just over the moon with it.
I actually saw that. I saw that video.
Did
Yeah,
you?
yeah, I saw that video. Why not? What a way to rehearse. What a way to train yourself walking in heels, right?
Absolutely.
If you can walk in heels on the treadmill, you can walk in heels anywhere, I think.
Exactly. Just getting nice and prepared for whatever's coming.
That is true. Thank you very much. That's heels for Daniel. Mark, what's the next one?
Next one, a good hike or a good swim?
A good swim. I'm totally a fish out of water. I love being on the beach. More than just being in the sand, actually being in the water. I could stay there all day, all hours. Growing up, we had a swimming pool, and that's where you found me any free moment I had.
Oh my God, I can totally relate to that, Daniel. I also love the water, the beach as well. Even before the pandemic, was doing swimming lessons. Okay, they just had to shut down everything. I stopped, but
That's such a bummer.
amazing.
That's true. There you go. Look at you guys talking about swimming. Well, here I am. Can't swim, but I love the
I'm
water.
gonna assume you're choosing the hike here.
I will choose the hike. I will be in the water, but I will be on the beach.
There we go. That counts.
Right? I think it does. Well, thank you very much. There you go. Daniel chooses swim over a good hike. Now, how about this?
Reading people's minds or being invisible if you had a superpower?
Ooh. I think reading people's minds. I tend to be an overthinker and wondering if I'm making the right move. If it's like going out to eat with my family, am I making the decision or do they actually want to go where I've picked? So if I could read their minds, then I would know for sure. And I could quit the overthinking and I could just make the decision and go for it.
Oh my
That's
God.
a nice one. I agree.
You nailed it with the overthinking. That's true.
I agree.
I think overthinking is my superpower, but I'm working on that.
That's true. That's true. It's a double-edged sword, right? Well, it's great that you're on the good end of overthinking. Now, let's go to the next one.
Vacation or staycation?
Vacation. There's so much of the earth to explore. Don't get me wrong. I love to be home with my cats, but I think I could get a backpack. They could come travel with me, and then we could see the world together, and that would be a really unique experience. I've really enjoyed getting to travel this year, and I'm really looking forward to being in Asia for 6 weeks between the Philippines and Vietnam. So vacation all the way. There's so much to see.
Oh my God!
I agree.
Like that's 6. That's a lot of activities. Wait, guys. Daniel mentioned that she like 6 weeks between the Philippines and Vietnam. So
In
you're
Vietnam.
not only going to Vietnam.
Correct. I'll be coming
Uh,
to the Philippines. I head that way. It'll be November 19th here when I leave, and I believe it'll be the 21st there when I land.
hey, there you go, guys. So Daniel's also coming to the Philippines there. So wow. Also, wait. Speaking of places, Clarissa Johnson is also saying hi. Hey, from SC.
Hello,
Daniel.
South Carolina. Hello, Clarissa.
There you
One
go.
of our fabulous directors within the States for Miss Earth USA.
That's true.
Hello, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you very much for tuning in. There you go. Now, let's go a little bit serious, Mark. Okay, here's the next one.
Is it more immediate, air quality improvement or wildlife conservation? Choose
How do you
one.
say it? Oh my gosh.
Isn't that tough?
And the two honestly even go so hand in hand, but without air quality, there is no us.
Hmm.
So I think I'm gonna have to go for air quality here as much as I love
Okay.
animals.
There you go. There you go. That's true, right? That's true, right? The source of life first. Yeah. There
Yeah.
you go. Thank you very much.
I
Well,
agree with that.
there you go. So our items for the this or that. And thank you very much for nailing every question. And there you go.
Thank you.
So we get to know how Daniel's mind works right now. But aside from warming up with Daniel, of course, to get to know our queen, we would also like to get to know there's the story behind the looks, behind their preparation, behind the crown. And so we have another segment wherein we're going to have a little peek of a story behind some photos of our queens. Mark, we always kind of like stalk them a little bit.
Stalked, yeah, we stalk them a bit. We do that often, right? We do that often.
True.
I do the same thing. I'm right there with you. I'm afraid though that not everybody else is a social media stalker like I am. You know, the last thing I want to do is bring up the trip you took a couple months ago. But I think everybody is secretly one, and I will openly admit it. So I am here for it. But I'm excited to see you guys. You all were really hyping it up before we jumped on.
That's true. Speaking of bringing it back, we are definitely going to bring it back. This hey, there you go. So we are going to show some photos, and we just want you to tell us the story behind those photos or the feeling that you feel right now. Anything you want to tell us about these photos. Let's start with this
First one.
Oh,
Gorgeous.
look at you.
Thank you. So that was actually back in the spring. Here we were getting ready for Derby time. It's one of the oldest traditions in the state of Kentucky. So we partnered with a local boutique. We were doing some photo shoots to help them with their advertisement for everything. I got to do it with Tayan, our teen Miss Earth USA. How fortunate are we? She just lives 30 minutes down the road from me. So it's been such a blessing to have her as my teen queen, but to have her so close by. So we actually shot that day together with our former Miss Kentucky Earth director, and it's just always such a good time when the three of us get together. Honestly, I think of them as family at this point. We've done so many things together this year. We've spent so much time together. I invite them to family parties, and they do the same with me. So that day was a lot of fun to get excited. It's insane. Here in Kentucky, we take 2 months to celebrate a 2-minute horse race.
Wow.
But it's well worth it. It's well worth it. Enjoy all the festivities and all the fashions leading up to it too.
Wow. Well, this picture screams fun, fashion, and everything like that. So thank you.
Yes, and I also read a caption about it. You mentioned about feathers.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. I was heading that way. So I love feathers. I think they're so fabulous, so beautiful. But a lot of times when we see them in our fashion wear, if we're not careful about what it is that we're purchasing, they are not ethically sourced. And so that means essentially they're plucked from a live animal, and it causes, I don't think people realize, a lot of stress and a lot of pain for the animal. So being able to have feathers that are ethically sourced, which this was a fascinator by the Hat Doctor. She's local here to Louisville, and everything she does is very ethically sourced. So her feathers were ethically sourced. They could be removed from a deceased animal that's passed of old age, sick, could just even be picked up off the ground in a farm, but it's not going to harm the animal, and we can still enjoy the fashions we love without causing harm to others.
That is
Agree.
right. Yeah. Imagine
So
like
ba-
details like that. You would think of how conscious and how considerate you are for thinking about, hey, these are feathers, and normally people would not think about that, but like thinking of how we can ethically source even details such as feathers is definitely a queenly a thought. Thank you very much for that, Mark.
and I think based on what Daniel is sharing, you are getting a hint of what she advocates for.
Mhm.
Later, we'll talk about that.
It might be a little obvious.
We're gonna talk about that, yeah. Or you still want to guess? Thank you very much
Feel
for that.
free.
Now, speaking of bringing you back to like a few months, I don't know if this is a few months prior but look at this gorgeousness right here. Here's our next photo.
Oh my goodness. The blonde.
It
Wow. Wow. That was 2021. I was actually getting ready to compete for Miss Kentucky Earth for the first time.
Oh,
That had been just a wild year. It was pandemic time. I had just come out of pageant retirement. And actually, in this picture, I want to say I had lost maybe 50 pounds at that point, and I've since then lost another 30. And then later on in this year, I got a wild hair and decided that since my hair was getting darker as I was getting older, it used to be a very vibrant, bright, almost white blonde when I was younger, that I would just speed up the process. And so here we are. This is where we ended.
we're gonna beat it. Beat the time when it becomes completely dark. But hey, you are gorgeous, both
Thank you.
blonde and dark,
Thank you.
right? Yeah. I just have a question. You mentioned a little bit a while ago that you came out of retirement during that time. So what was this like? What made you come out of like pageant retirement in 2020?
So I had actually stepped out just looking to focus on school, and I had gotten to a point I didn't think a positive outcome in pageantry, as in winning and being successful in that sense, was ever going to be possible for me. So I needed to shift my focus. I learned to love on me in this time off and learn to be true to myself. And I found the Miss Earth organization, I want to say back in 2020, shortly after the pandemic had started. And I just remember watching in awe of everything that they were doing and realizing that it's so aligned with my passions and everything that I was very focused on in my life, and I felt that I had maybe found a calling. So I sat on the sidelines and I watched and I debated, and I had gained a lot of weight during the pandemic, and I let that hold me back, and I felt that I wasn't physically ready for a pageant. And when I started to lose the weight and rebuild back up my self-confidence from that, ironically enough, in God's perfect timing, Kentucky had their first state pageant to go on to Miss Earth USA, and I had about 2 weeks once I realized to prepare. But I knew that this was what I was passionate about. This was where my heart lies, is in the environment. And I loved pageants, loved the glitz and the glam, but I loved that there was more to it. So I decided I would take 2 weeks to somehow pull 6 years off to relearn everything in that 6 years off. And I actually didn't place my first year. I'm pretty sure I can confidently say I was dead last that year. But I then had another year to work really hard towards it, to relearn everything from my time off and how to just go out there and be me and to let my heart shine. And the rest was history.
There you are. There you go. That was so nice. It's a wonderful story. That retirement and then that initial non-placement was simply a redirection.
Correct.
Truthfully.
And
God's
I really believe in timing. I believe in hard work, and I believe in destiny. If it's really meant for you, it's meant for you, and that's why you're here now. You're Miss Earth USA, right?
Yes. Yeah. The
I'm right there with you.
right time, the right mindset, the right you. Right.
Sure.
So it just all falls into place. Thank you very much. See that this photo, just a single photo, made us learn so much more about you. Thank you very much for sharing that journey.
Oh, gladly. Well, thank you for pulling that picture. That, man, what a moment.
Let's see. Now let's look at the next photo. Can you tell us about this?
This was one of the neatest experiences I've ever had. So this is Michael with Killer Bee Tactical. He has gone absolutely viral on social media, sharing a lot of safety tips,
Yes.
especially for women. And for me, I find a lot of value in it since I live alone. I do a lot of traveling alone, but he's also a beekeeper. So I got to come out and be a beekeeper for a day, and we are prepping the bees for winter time. So this was actually, we had just come back in from the farm. So he had already come out of his bee suit before I remembered to snag a picture. But it was so neat to be able to stand in the midst of them and to put my hand out and to let the bees land on my hand and to not have to worry about, oh my gosh, what if they sting me? And to look into the hives and to see how smart bees are. And also, what I've learned from bees is that women rule the world in bee world, quite literally.
True.
So here for all the girl power, he set me up with another beekeeper who had a larger set of beehives than he does. So we got to dive a little deeper into it. And she just texted me last night and said, fun fact, since it's getting colder, the women bees are going to drag the male bees out of the hive by their legs because at this point they're done and there's not much for them to do.
Oh,
It's so neat to me that it's such a female driven world for them. It's
it
like,
is.
huh,
It is.
women rule.
That's true. That is true. Well, thank you very much for sharing that. Thank you. Now,
We can learn a thing or two from bees, right?
that's true.
Yes.
We are inching
We'd love to see
closer.
power.
That's true. It is. We are inching closer to your advocacy, so we're going to introduce that a little bit through photos as well.
Yes.
So
But before that, we have more fans who are watching us. So please say hi to Ralph Sambat. Ralph is saying hi to you, Daniel.
Oh, we love Ralph.
Yes.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
And we also have Sarah Massingale watching.
Sarah.
I think she was listening to our conversation a while ago. She said that, like Brittany Payne always says, if it's meant for you, it will not pass. And
Yes.
hello, according to Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Sarah, we miss Sarah too. Hello, Sarah. Yeah, there you go. Christina Josh Lee is also watching right now. And
That was
Jayla Vilas, hello.
Director.
Yeah, and Mark Nebreja. Hello, everybody, everyone who's watching. So be ready with your questions later. Well, as I said, we're inching closer to talking about your advocacy, and I think this is part of it also. Tell us about this.
I love getting to do this. I visited, so here's two separate elementary schools, and we have soup cans, something easy you can typically find in your cupboard at home,
Right.
and have newspaper. Old newspaper that was going to get tossed that we don't need anymore. And so we're using the soup cans to make planters out of the newspaper. The soup cans are the mold for it. And then we're planting pollinator seeds so that they can take home their pots and they can start their own pollinator gardens at home. So when I visit the schools, I read a book to them about gardens and how everything plays a role in nature and it all comes together. And so this was us helping out nature and starting our own pollinator gardens so that we can continue to see life evolve. We can help the insects do what they need to do so that we can have the yummy fruits and veggies that we eat. And they were so fascinated by this project. I still to this day get texts from the teachers. Can you come back? They loved it. They want to build more. What can they do from home? They're all excited to go become gardeners now. And it just warms my heart so much.
It does, right? It's so nice. Mark and I are also teachers, and as teachers, yes, I am a teacher here in Japan. As teachers, it really warms our heart to see kids discover things, especially things that would help their environment, and would improve the quality of their lives. So thank you very much for doing that.
I agree with that. So that's actually what Daniel did in that photo is part of the core of Miss Earth, really to ensure that we share something to the youth because they're the ones who will actually take this forward and hopefully something that they've learned from, they will also pass it on to their kids, right?
Yeah, that's why it's great to start them early, right?
True.
So everybody,
Very true.
those who are watching right now, you don't have to be teachers to teach our kids, right?
Sure.
To be environmentally aware, right? Thank you very much for that. Well, another thing, speaking of like recycling and repurposing things, there's another photo that kind of alludes to that. Tell us about this one.
All right, we are talking right into my lane here. So this is a box of mascara wands. And I actually had just come out of a workday here. I am a beautician, we'll say. I do mostly makeup, but I do hair, spray tans, teeth whitening. I love everything in the beauty industry, especially when it comes to pageantry. So here I had gone to work hair and makeup at a pageant, and my clients brought me these wands because I partnered with Wands for Wildlife and were able to reuse mascara wands to provide medical aid to wildlife animals in need and help keep those mascara wands just out of landfills, find another reason to use them. So they had been saving these up from their personal use, from their lash techs, and they brought these to me so that they can play a role in what we're doing. We go through so many of these in a day as a makeup artist. So it was really so special to see that other people are seeing what I do with it and they're able to catch on. And I love that, you know, it's spreading now. When I walk into work at a pageant, wherever it may be, girls are taking note and they're saving these and they're bringing them to me so we can come together to make a difference.
Oh, that is so nice. It's so nice that you're influencing, and it's something that you don't have to like lose an arm and a leg to be able to do it. It's like it's very simple. It's very easy to do, but the impact is big, right? So for some people who are like asking, how do I even protect the earth? How do I care? You can start anywhere, right? There you go. As Daniel is doing. Yeah, right, Mark?
Yes, and since Daniel already started mentioning about the beauty industry, and you mentioned about the impact of that in our environment, I'll probably like to give this platform to Daniel now. How much impact is the beauty industry really causing the environment? And you've already given one solution, but how much impact could we actually do to ensure that we probably lessen the negative impact on the environment?
It's one of those things that you like the feathers that until you stop and really question it and think about it, you may not realize the magnitude of the impact. So for the beauty industry, we see issues with packaging, pump bottles that have metal pieces within the plastic. The plastic in itself is an issue, but then to sit there and have to figure out how to tear it apart so you can properly recycle it, finding programs that can take care of that for you is a huge key. But products that use sustainable packaging are my heart and love. That's exactly where everybody needs to go to. And I think of us as pageant girls as the face of the beauty industry. Even if we do or don't work in it, that's our lane. But our beauty products shouldn't come at the cost of the environment. So another issue we see as well is within the ingredients. One thing we don't think about is with those toxic ingredients. If you wouldn't eat your makeup, you have toxic makeup. I'm not telling you to eat your makeup. I'm telling you to think about what's in your makeup. If you wouldn't put it in your belly, don't put it on your skin. Because also when you wash off that makeup at night and it runs down the drain, those toxic ingredients are going back into our waterways or infiltrating our soil. A lot of products too, unfortunately, are tested on animals. And I think just at first glance, if you don't know much about it, you may think like a cat's going to sit there and you're just going to put the mascara on the cat, wash it off, no big deal. But it's actually very torturous what they do to these animals, and it's very painful, and it oftentimes can even end in death for them. And again, it's just going back to the fact that I don't want to wear makeup if this is what it's going to come to. I want to wear makeup that's going to leave the environment as is, or in the case of Wands for Wildlife, even be able to help the environment. That's what I think it should do. If anything, it should help the environment.
You know what I like about what Daniel shared is I think the most impactful was we have to stop and think about it. Whatever it is that we do, may it be in a different industry, stop and think, will this impact the environment? It's an aha moment for me because sometimes I tend to forget as well. Example, just me buying milk tea and the packaging of the milk tea, I tend to forget, is this something that I will see in a landfill or is this something that can be recycled? So indeed, stop and think about what we do. I agree with that, Daniel.
That is true. Every little decision that we make will actually affect, sometimes it doesn't affect us directly, but it affects those little animals, those animals that we see there around us. So that brings us to the core of your advocacy, Daniel, right? So because it's under the banner of wildlife
Conservation.
Conservation. What did
I
I
think
say?
it needs to be a conversation, though.
It is a conversation. Wildlife conservation needs to be a conversation. Did I? Okay, I justify that. but it's under the banner of wildlife conservation. Why did you choose this advocacy?
I grew up on a farm, and I was my papa's right hand, his little shadow. I made every step out there that he did. And this is where I really learned to connect with nature, and that when we take care of Mother Earth in turn takes care of us. And Mother Earth can go on to live without us for millions and billions of years, but we cannot go on to live without her. So, in helping him with his garden and taking care of his boogers, as he called them, his animals, I fell in love with every moment of it. And I actually had this really bad habit of picking up stray cats and wanting to bring them home so we could take care of them. That habit still kind of lives on. I have 2 cats today. But in those moments, I really just fell in love. And I also realized that our animals are so voiceless. We can't necessarily communicate with them. We can understand a lot about them. But as we're seeing issues with deforestation through urbanization and cruelty testing or makeup testing on animals, I'm realizing that our animals really need us to speak up for them because we're all that we have. And some people don't realize what they're going through or what's happening to them. And that's why it's up to us who do know and who realize to be that voice and to educate and to advocate so that the rest of the world can realize, oh my gosh, they really need us.
That is right. That is true. There you go. And it's just a wonderful connection that you're making because you don't have to go so far outside of the industry that you're working in and working with and your passion in order to help in wildlife conservation. That only proves that you can actually do anything. You can connect to anything in order to contribute to a bigger cause for the environment. Right, Mark?
Yes, I agree with that. And speaking of the environment, we already have certain questions coming in here. Hold your thought. Later we'll have. I'm already seeing questions about the environment, about your advocacy, about Daniel. Hold your thought, please. Keep it coming. Write it down, and we'll ask your questions.
Okay, there you go. Thank you very much. Actually, yeah, right now as well. Aside from so Daniel, aside from all of the things, the one for like collecting wands and then teaching kids. Right now, what are the other things that you are doing or to inspire others in order to follow your advocacy or to create their own for the environment?
What's actually been really fun about the year is getting to go and visit different wildlife centers and be hands-on, maybe helping where I can. Here in Kentucky, laws are very strict about wildlife animals. So there's been some restrictions, but I did get to help release some foxes back into the wild at a wildlife center. And that was an over the moon experience. I don't know how to put into words watching them run back out into the wild. They even came back. And we really believe it was as a thank you for taking care of us and thank you for setting free
Oh,
us. It was so beautiful. Since I do love animals so much, I actually swore off all meat consumption a couple years ago and I went vegetarian. I would almost say vegan, but the only thing is that I still do cage-free eggs, so at least they're ethically sourced eggs. But that's the only thing that keeps me at this point from being vegan and being fully plant-based. And I love to educate other people about how a plant-based lifestyle can help our environment. But I grew up on a farm and I realized as we sold eggs and we had chickens and cows that not everybody wants to be a vegetarian and some people really rely on their farm to withstand their life. So educating, of course, on the ethical treatment of animals through farming, but even encouraging people to try a meatless Monday, just going plant-based once a week. That's all it
true.
takes. And we can see such a huge improvement for our environment. It decreases water use. We see land
True.
saved because now we're not having to deforest areas for livestock production. It's one of those little things, again, that can have a really magnitude of an impact when we all come together to do it. And I think that's going to be the key to saving the environment. Maybe not in a meatless Monday in itself, but seeing those little actions that we can all come together to do that are going to have that massive impact.
Wow, that is amazing, really, to know all of that. And I love the fact that that you are considering that not everybody can do something in a
Sure.
certain way, but that despite that fact, people can still contribute. Like ethically sourcing things. You don't have to give everything up, but you can still, in your own way, contribute to the benefit of the environment, right?
A day will do. A day will do, and that very small step will actually be bigger if you're going to notice it.
I love that. A day will do. Yeah, everything begins with a small step.
Okay.
That's true. That is true. Well, I think, Mark, it is time for those questions to be asked. They have been waiting to be asked, and I think we're not the only people who would like to ask Daniel some questions. Let's go.
All right. All right. So for the first question, I'd like to say hi first to Donald Latham. Donald is asking, question for Daniel. Daniel, what is your greatest contribution to today's society and what is most important to you?
Wow.
My greatest contribution will be my elementary school visits because that's setting up the future for success and that's leaving a legacy behind. There's nothing I can do with my own two hands as Miss Earth USA that will leave behind anything of the magnitude as it is teaching the kids how to help care for our environment and showing them why it's so important. Then for me, what I'm always going to hold closest to my heart is going to be wildlife conservation at any magnitude, especially for the sake of being a vegetarian. Believe me, I wish everybody could be fully plant-based. That would be so great for our animals. I view them as I look at my two cats like they're my children.
Mhm.
That's how I view animals. They are family around here to me. But encouraging people to just become educated. It's what I've loved about visiting the wildlife centers this year is getting to learn more so that I can come back and teach others about it. I'm not a teacher, but I can make a TikTok and tell you how cool it was to feed the turtles cucumbers and to realize, it's something simple we can do when we see turtles out. They like cucumbers. Fun fact. I know a dog that also really likes cucumbers as well. But just those little things that mean so much to teach other people and that animals aren't scary. They're our friends. I have no limits when it comes to animals. I will jump in the bee suit and get out in the bee swarm and stand there in awe of the majesty, the beautifulness that surrounds me. But I'll also stand there and I'll hold the snake and I'll take a picture with it because animals are our friends. We need to take care of them. And I think that's one of the simplest ways I can show people that.
Thank you very much. What a gorgeous.
Thank you. And I agree with that as well.
Yeah.
I have another interesting question here. I'm so sorry because this question is so cute. From Shannon Paternoster.
Mhm.
Question for Daniel. Where can we follow you on all social media accounts? And this is the cute question. What is your favorite color and why? So cute.
That is so cute. Thank you. You can follow me at Miss Earth. Oh, my camera's flipped. Miss Earth USA, right? But then on my personal page, it is the Danielle Mullins. Let's see. My favorite color. I really like red. There's so much passion behind it. It's so fiery. My friends say that I have a very fiery personality. I think it's very fitting to describe me, but it's also with it being just so passionate and a color that's so bold. I think it really encompasses my year as Miss Earth USA and everything that I've done and even leading up to this point.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you. I hope, Shannon, you're happy with that color. So for Daniel, it's red, fiery red. Okay. And Donald is saying thank you for answering his question. Indeed, educating our youth can inspire future environmental habits that will create a movement and future opportunities to better the earth. Thank you, Donald.
Thank you. There you go. Habit forming. That is true. That's why we started meow, because the habit forming. When they form these habits while they're young, they will carry it with them when they grow up. And conserving the environment becomes natural, because we learned it when we were growing up, right? So I'm so happy. I see two people here who are into a plant-based diet. Mark is also on a plant-based diet, by the way. So,
Ooh,
yeah.
we'd love
Since,
to see it.
yeah, since I was a kid, actually.
Oh, okay. You're doing better than me.
There you go. You have other questions there, Mark?
None for now. I'm just waiting for the others.
Yes, come on, guys. So a lot of people are watching already. There you go. Oh, one person is asking here if you can tell what will you be doing in the Philippines prior to coming to Vietnam.
Oh, okay. All
Ooh,
right.
yes.
Mhm.
I'm coming to the Philippines for the KF boot camp. I'm really looking forward to how wild to say I'm traveling to the Philippines for a boot camp to help me prepare for my pageant competition. That's something I feel like 5 years ago would have been um, just a thought in the mind, not something that was actually a reality. I'm hoping to get to do a lot of adventuring while I'm there, so I'm open to suggestions as well. Anything you all think I absolutely have to see, absolutely have to try. I'm really excited though to get to see all these different countries while I'm there. What a blessing that Miss Earth is in Vietnam this year, and now I'm getting even more of an experience. Truly one of
Right.
those in God's perfect timing moments.
That is true. That is true. You get to travel to both Asian countries. Yeah,
True. Two
maybe
countries, two different cultures.
two different cultures. That's true. That is so nice. There you go. And Stephanie Aguilar is actually saying here, we hope that we can also implement waste segregation, better waste segregation in the Philippines. Yeah, that is so nice. Well, speaking of, because all of these, this waste segregation that we're doing ultimately affects our wildlife too, our animals too. So that's definitely something that we all dream to have a better system. We all dream to have in our countries. Something that I know, like I live in Japan right now, and I'm just admire Japan for doing such a great job with waste segregation. So anyway, just that. So thank you for that comment, Stephanie. Yes, there you go. So
While we're waiting for the question, I have a question for Daniel. I know that you will attend the boot camp. I know that you've been working so hard to get to where you are right now, and you've been preparing. What will be your focus area when it comes to your
oh,
training?
Ooh, I like to break it all down into bite-sized pieces so everything kind of shifts and molds. I'm doing talent competition this year, so that's been recently added back into my preparation works is to perfect that so that once I get there, it's nice and ready to go. That's earlier in our schedule of competitions at the moment, so right now it's a little more pressing in my mind. But then from there, I'll get to shift and worry about the stage portion or thinking about the interview portion, the intelligence
Mhm,
rounds.
mhm,
So I have one though that just sticks out. I think it's going to be the stage. I think that's where it's been my main focus of the year. Just
mhm.
thinking about the different wardrobe pieces I'll have, how to
right.
work them. I got new pageant shoes this year, so that's why I put them on the treadmill. I got to break them in somehow. So I took them out there on the treadmill and learning how to just really feel confident in those to have something new now when I have my originals that I'm used to. But it's going to shift. Everything gets its own focus at different times. Depends on the season.
That's right. Yeah, that's a great strategy actually. I
Thank you.
think it is a great strategy. It is a great strategy. You
I'm
know,
going
and
to use packing too. I haven't
oh,
really started that, but that's in there.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, for a trip like this, you need to pack like way ahead. Plan
Way, way ahead.
way
Plus,
way.
how many luggages are you planning to bring?
So I'm working with an amazing designer in the Philippines for my country costume. So I have to think about once I get it, where is it going to go? How is it
Mm-hmm.
coming to Vietnam? So I may
To
have
be
to take an extra suitcase with me of that, something of that nature. I have a gown being worked on for me in the Philippines. We're bringing a lot of sustainable aspects into it.
Mhm.
What's nice is that one of my gowns is being worked on in Vietnam. I'm really excited to be working with this designer. So that's one thing I don't have to worry about packing. Hallelujah. That's actually
Good.
most important to worry about, maybe getting
there
with
you
the airline. My goal is to make it in 4.
go. Mm,
Okay, four
And you
suitcases.
see
fair
that dog
enough.
going crazy. That's the goal. I
Fair.
traveling a lot this year as Miss Earth USA. I was gone at one point for 3 weeks, so I'm a little acquainted on what I need to take, what I need to be thinking about, how to pack lightly, how to mix and match these outfits. Of course, we're going to be doing lots of laundry. So I think it's feasible. I think it's possible.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Fair.
Good.
Four.
Fair enough. 4 makes sense. Okay, since you
Big,
will no longer bring
big.
the gowns.
Big.
Okay. And one of our fans, Sharika Lee, hi Sharika, is asking, since you will be leaving, how are you feeling about the upcoming pageant? And do you feel confident or nervous?
The upcoming pageant. So that's a bit of a loaded question because as soon as this ends, then I'm handing down the Miss Earth USA crown.
Mm.
So what's kind of hard to wrap my head around right now? Of course, the denial of, oh my gosh, I'm going to be in Asia for 6 weeks. This is so crazy. But also is that I either have another year of excitement and traveling and really getting to have a platform to stand on to push my advocacy even further, where it all comes to an abrupt end. That's, I don't know how to wrap my head around that concept at the moment. But as far as competition goes, it's starting to feel more real. I'm starting to step out of that denial and realize, oh my goodness, it's almost time. It's almost here. My nerves have been really calm. I have a great team behind me. I have a great support system behind me. We're so organized, and on top of it, I know I'm in great hands. So, it's up to me to just be the best me I can be. That's all it is at the end of the day.
That is true. We love that. You look every step of the way. You have support every step of the way being taken care of. So it allows you to be just your best, right?
I
And
agree.
we have some more questions here. Well, you've mentioned about a lot of things that you are excited doing, but as Sean wants to ask, Queen Daniel, what are you most excited about on the upcoming Miss Earth pageant?
Experiencing a pageant of this magnitude. Miss Earth USA is the biggest production I've experienced at this point as a competitor. So now to get to be a competitor on an international stage, to see everything they have planned. I mean, watching Miss Vietnam Earth this year was outstanding. So I can only imagine what they have in store for us. I really don't know how I can just pinpoint it down into one point of excitement. I'm excited to also kind of outside of the pageant part, getting to know all the girls, but getting to experience Vietnam.
That's
True.
I visited a Vietnamese garden here in the States, and it was just a little taste, but it has me so excited to go and to experience the different foods, the different fruits. I'm a huge fruit person, and I'm just ready to dive into the culture and be a local.
That's true. Oh, we're
Agree.
so excited for you too.
And Daniel's cat seems to be excited as well.
Oh my gosh. Well, she's going to be, as you can tell, she is my shadow. She makes every step that I make. She's going to be very sad without me. She's already not been happy with my travels this year. I have 2 cats. The other seemingly does okay, but he's not too happy either. That's the hard part of the year is that since they're voiceless, we can't communicate. I can't tell them that mommy's coming home, making them understand that I'm not abandoning them, but I'm really blessed. My family's going to take them while I'm gone, so they'll be with people that they love. They won't have to be put away in a kennel or something crazy of that nature. So we've just been soaking up our last couple days before I go. I know I'll be excited to come home to them. It's also bittersweet. There's so many things to look forward to, but at the same time, like coming home to pass down the Miss Earth USA crown, being away from my friends and family, and my crazy cat children. Holidays, it's bittersweet, but for an opportunity like this, it's hard to focus on anything other than the positives of it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I always look at the brighter side of things. Thank you, Daniel. So we have another question from Sarah Messingale. According to Sarah, I always love seeing all of the girls have fun with the medal competitions outside of the main scored aspects of the pageant. So which one are you most excited for, aside from talent? Sarah is asking.
Oh man, you took my answer. I think I'm excited for resort wear. I've been working with one of our sponsors and just pulling together the perfect visionary piece for it. I mean, I'm also, goodness, I'm excited to see my wardrobe that's waiting on me in Asia, of course. But this is something like we've really been discussing about, and just the details and the sustainability that we're bringing into it. I can't wait. And like I said, I'm the fish out of water. I think I'm a real life mermaid. So this is my element here, and I'm excited to get to be in that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you for that question. Yeah, the non-scored segments of Miss Earth are also like fun. That's where you bring in the fun and the amazement, right? Thank you
True.
very much. All the positive. We were talking about positivity, but maybe for our last question from the fans, okay? So from Stephanie, who is also saying that your cat is so sweet, but she's also asking this question. What can you say if you were given a chance to talk to the bashers and detractors of the Miss Earth system now that you are in it? What would you like to tell them
Those that are negative about us.
about Miss Earth? What kind of pageant is a Miss Earth pageant? Like the advocacy, they don't believe in the advocacy, they don't believe in the sincerity of it. Some people have that thought. What would you like to tell them?
I encourage them to think about the pandemic. This is something we probably never thought we would see in our lifetime, but it happened. And something like our environment and the safety of it and the well being of it, we may think that we still have hundreds of thousands of years before we have to worry about caring about our environment. But the pandemic goes to show that we have to expect the unexpected. Tomorrow is not promised. And it's time for us to take fighting climate change, cleaning our planet, purifying the air, helping our wildlife seriously, because you never know what tomorrow might bring. And I encourage them to also look at our motto, being a beauty's for a cause. I know people think pageant girls are just these pretty faces and there's nothing more to them. But we are really women of the earth. We are the women out on the side of the road picking up the trash. We are the women holding the snakes so they can get fed, whatever it may be at the wildlife center. We're out in the dirt digging the nails. And people might look at me and think, her nails are a little long. There's no way she's out here doing all this. But they help me dig in the dirt. They help me when I'm gloved pick up the trash. They're tools. They serve a purpose. But really, we are beauties for a cause. We are showing the world that you can be more than a pretty face. And I always relate it back to my favorite movie, Legally Blonde. Everybody thought she was just a pretty face, and she went on to Harvard Law School and became a very successful lawyer. It's time for us to quit judging a book by a cover, to realize women are so much more than what meets the eye. It's breaking stereotypes, not just in pageantry, for women in general, but to also realize that we have to care for our environment now. The stats are there that show we have to take action now. And honestly, we should have taken action yesterday, but since we can't go back in time, we can start now. And when we come together, we'll really, really see a positive, massive impact.
There you go. And what an impact you are making, Daniel. Thank you very much for everything that you do, not only for doing steps on your own, but also for inspiring others to take the same steps to care for our environment, our wildlife, and just basically inspire people to be beautiful inside and out. Right, Mark?
Yes, I agree with that. And speaking of inspiring, and I know that your journey wasn't that easy, Daniel. I'd just like to check with you. Amongst all of the people you've been surrounded with, based off this journey, who are you most thankful for?
It's hard to pick one. Everything has just, when I sit back and think about it, everything in my life has truly just been so divinely placed. From being a makeup artist in the pageant industry and opening that door back into the pageant world for me. But thinking about, honestly, I don't know if I would have come out of pageant retirement if Christina Lee, our now junior Earth and our junior ambassador Earth director, former Kentucky Earth director, hadn't have reached out to me. I honestly thought she was asking me to come and do makeup at the pageant because I didn't see that kind of potential in myself. But because she took the chance to ask me if I thought about competing and if this was something that maybe I felt was in alignment with what I was doing, I wouldn't be here today. So ultimately, I really have to give it to her. I'm so grateful for her. Our friendship has just grown. I think of her like the older sister I never had at this point. I mean, literally texted me the other day and said, I have a gown you need to try on and think about taking to Miss Earth with you. I know where you hide your house key. It'll be there when you get off work. She's just always looking out for me. She's in my corner. She's been one of my biggest cheerleaders. And I mean, if this boils back to her, I wouldn't be here without her.
That's
Thank
so
you very much.
sweet. That's so
Yeah.
sweet.
It really
You know
takes-
what? Sometimes we really have angels around us who would really assist us and help us to get to where we are. So thank you
Nice.
for sharing that, Daniel.
Thank you very much. And speaking of sharing, we would like you to share to our Earthlings, yes, what's going to be coming up in the next months, and invite them to support you in your journey to the Miss Earth crown. The floor is yours, Danielle.
Thank you for that. Well, you all, November 19th, I'm heading out to the Philippines to kick off all the excitement with the KF boot camp. But then from there, I'll be heading into Vietnam for the next 5 weeks for the Miss Earth competition. And it would just mean so much if you all would come hang out with me on social media, share your love and support. I read through every comment, every message, and it goes so much further than you could possibly ever imagine. And it's going to be what will help carry me through these next few weeks. This is a trying time as well. It's hard to be away from friends and family and loved ones for so long, especially when you're in the States. I'll be missing 2 family members' birthdays and
Wow.
really major family holidays.
Yeah.
So your love and support right now means more than anything. I mean, it's a situation I just don't have words for. So come hang out with me on social media. Send the love and support when you have it. I love to always see the USA flags in the comments, and just thank you for being there for me. It means the earth to me.
Wow. There you go. Thank you very much, Danielle. And of course, it also means the earth to us that you are here at our first guest for our Miss Earth 2023 Talk series.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor, truly.
Thank you very much. And of course, thank you so much for gracing us. Mark, anyone you would like to thank?
I'm just so happy and very grateful for Daniel to actually agreeing to this interview. I know it's midnight there. I know it's already early morning, but he still said yes. Appreciate it so much. So guys, please support Danielle Mullins on her quest to become the second Miss Earth from her country.
Oh my God, we were just talking about it, like the Miss Earth Crown 2.0 can also be literally Miss Earth Crown 2.0 for USA. There you go.
And
Thank you
the
so
new crown
much.
designs.
And a new crown this time. That's true. That is right. Thank you very much. Well,
Thank you.
Earthlings, and thank you so much for staying up late. But thank you very much for being with us right now. Those who are watching on Miss Earth Crown, on V Crown, also the Miss Earth USA page, and the people who are watching on YouTube, thank you very much. So you have a lot of these platforms if you want to watch the replay. So don't forget, you can still share this stream, this episode to your friends and to the supporters of Daniel, because they can always watch the replay. So we would like to thank everybody for being here and for asking the question. Okay. Thank you
And
very
also
much.
do not forget to follow our new Facebook page, Miss Earth Crown 2.0. Like and share the video interview of Danielle Mullins, and do not forget to support the ladies. Okay, the reason why they're here is for us to be, of course, to learn something different and learn something new in protecting our environment.
There you go. Thank you very much, and we will see you once again next time. Bye, guys. Okay, there you go.
Yay! We're
Thank you
done.
so much. Daniel, what a wonderful episode it was. Thanks to you.
I hope you enjoyed, Daniel.
Oh my, this was so much fun, and I loved the pictures you pulled. What a trip down memory lane. Thank you really so much for having me. It means a lot.
Thank you. There you go. I know it's already late there, so we're not going to keep you any longer. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you maybe in the Philippines.
See you
Yeah.
either in the Philippines or in Vietnam.
Yes, or maybe both.
Yes,
There
maybe
you go.
both.
It'd be
And
great.
Mark will be seeing you next week for the Echo
Oh,
video.
yes.
Yeah,
That
Echo.
was a fun fact. I didn't see that yet.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Daniel.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you.